Hello everyone, welcome back to your English class. Hope you all are fine. So today we are going to talk about the largest unit of any language, that is sentence. So a sentence is the largest unit of any language. In English, it begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or a question mark or an exclamatory mark. The sentence is generally defined as a word or a group of words that expresses a thorough idea by giving a statement order or asking a question or exclaiming. For example, he is a good boy. He is a good boy is statement. Is he a good boy? Question. What a nice weather! Exclaiming. Ideally, a sentence requires at least one subject and one verb. Hopefully, you all might be knowing about a subject. Subject is someone or something we talk about, and verb is the action word. So, a sentence requires at least one subject and one verb. Sometimes the subject of a sentence can be hidden, but the verb must be visible and present in the sentence. Verb is called the heart of a sentence. For example, do it. In this sentence, a subject is you, and that you is hidden, but the verb do is visible. A sentence is a group of words usually containing a verb that expresses a thought in the form of a statement, question, instruction, or exclamation and starts with a capital letter when written. More examples of sentences. In other words, a complete English sentence must have three characteristics. Number one, in written form, a sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a period. Period is a full stop. A note of interrogation, that is a question mark, or a note of exclamation, that is exclamatory sign or exclamation mark. Secondly, it must express a complete thought, not fragmented. Third, it must contain at least one subject, hidden or visible, and one verb comprising an independent clause. An independent clause contains an independent subject and verb and expresses a complete thought. Now, after knowing all about sentence, let us know the types of sentences. So, types can be categorized in two ways. Number one, according to the structure of a sentence. Number two, according to the function of the sentence. So, first, structurally, sentences are of four types: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. Simple sentence. A simple sentence must have a single clause, a single verb, which is independent, and it cannot take another clause. For example, I always wanted to become a writer. So we can see that there is only one clause in the sentence and there is only one verb, that is wanted. Now next is the compound sentence. A compound sentence must have more than one independent clause with no dependent clauses. Some specific conjunction, punctuation, or both are used to join together these clauses. For example, I always wanted to become a writer and she wanted to become a doctor. Two independent clauses and two verbs. So here children, we need to understand that we can find that these two different independent clauses can stand independently. Means if we remove this conjunction and, still they are remaining. As we can see, the first part says, I always wanted to become a writer. if we remove the leftover part of this sentence, yet it is an independent and complete sentence. So this is the main and specific feature of a compound sentence, that it has two independent clauses. The second part also, she wanted to become a doctor, can stand independently with complete sense. So this is the most specific feature of a compound sentence. So here we find that a simple sentence have a single clause, whereas a compound sentence have more than one independent clause. Now coming to the next kind, that is a complex sentence. A complex sentence also has more than one clause, but there is a difference between the complex and compound sentences. As compound sentence, we had previously seen that it has two independent clauses, whereas a complex sentence has one independent clause and other one or two dependent clauses. Now there are also some particular connectors for the clauses of a complex sentence to be connected. For example, I know that you always wanted to be a writer. Here, a dependent clause is followed by a connector and an independent clause. The other way around is also possible. For example, we need to understand the above example, that is I know. I know is the independent clause and a complete sentence. I know that you always wanted to be a writer. That is a different and dependent clause. Now, compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence or complex compound sentence is a mixture of the features of compound and complex sentences in one sentence. So it must contain at least two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. For example, I know that you always wanted to become a writer, but I always wanted to become a doctor. Here, one dependent clause is followed by a complex connector and two independent clauses with a compound conjunction between them. According to the function, sentences are of mainly four types: declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory. So first of all, we'll talk about declarative sentences. As the name indicates, an assertive sentence or a declarative sentence simply expresses an opinion or feeling, or makes a statement or describes things. In other words, it declares something. This type of sentence ends with a period or a full stop. For example, I want to be a good cricketer. It's a simple statement. I am very happy today. It's a feeling. So these are the examples of declarative sentence or simple sentence. Imperative sentence. We use an imperative sentence to make a request or give a command. Imperative sentences usually end with a period or a full stop, but under certain circumstances, it can end with a note of exclamation, that is, exclamatory sign. For example, please sit down. In this sentence, we find there is a request. I need you to sit down now. That is a command. Now, next kind is interrogative sentence. We all know the sign of interrogation, or an interrogative sentence always asks a question. Interrogative sentences must end with a note of interrogation. For example, when are you going to submit your assignment? Do you know him? Exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence expresses overflow of emotions. These emotions can be of happiness, wonder, sorrow, anger, etc. For example, what a day it was. I cannot believe he would do that. Hopefully, I covered all the major aspects related to this largest unit of language, that is sentences, all the kinds, functions. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. Thank you.